Hi everyone. This video presentation is made for subject Effective Leadership Applications. The title of this presentation is Authentic Leadership and will be presented by Azman Makmo and Norlila Garth. This is the table of content which divided into two sections. The white fonts is the section where we will present the literature of the authentic leadership, and the second section with pink fonts is where we will present our assessment, measurement, analysis, and report based on the survey results by using one of authentic leadership tool. Leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. Some said leadership is a process of social influence which maximizing the efforts of others towards the achievement of a goal. Leadership can be described as the ability of an individual to influence, motivate, and enable others to contribute towards the effectiveness and success of an organization. On the slide, we have shown some citations from management gurus, which are Peter Drucker and Warren Bennis, on their definition of leadership. Authentic leadership is a leadership style in which leaders are genuine, self-aware, and transparent. Authentic leadership is an approach to leadership that emphasizes on building the leader's legitimacy through honest relationship with followers and are built on an ethical foundation. One of popular citation on authentic leadership is from Bill George's book in year 2003, where he said in his book, "You cannot fake it till you make it." Showing the genuine and authenticity of leadership cannot be imitated, but have to be developed from time to time. Here we put one of authentic leaders' example. Howard Schultz is the founder of Starbucks. After him witnessing his father loses the jobs because of medical problems, he really concerns and became passionate on to take care of its employee benefits.
Authenticity has been explored throughout history, from Greek philosophers to the work of Shakespeare. The word authentic comes from the Greek word authentikos, which means principle or genuine. Ancient Greek philosophers were not the last to explore the concept of authenticity. Throughout the human history, philosophers, musicians, and artists have explored this concept. In the early stages of the theorizing, authenticity became attached as a reflection of the organizations as well as individuals. Authentic leadership had been explored as part of modern management science, but found its highest level of acceptance since Bill George's book, Authentic Leadership.
There are three perspective definitions in authentic leadership, which are intrapersonal, interpersonal, and developmental perspective. From intrapersonal perspective, authentic leadership is defined on the leader's life surrounding. From intrapersonal perspective, authentic leadership is defined based on the authenticity that emerge from both leaders and followers. From developmental perspective, authentic leadership is defined based on leaders' behavior pattern, psychological qualities, and ethics. This is a definition cited from Wallumbwa, Avolio, Gardner, Wensing, and Pearson, research paper in year 2008. As you can see, there are 4 dimensions have been stated in their definition on authentic leadership, and these have become a foundation for theoretical approach and ALQ method or authentic leadership questionnaire method, which will be explained later.
There are 2 approaches under authentic leadership. The first one is theoretical approach and another one is practical approach. The theoretical approach is based on findings from Wallumbwa and Associates, who had identified 4 components: self-awareness, internalized moral perspective, balanced processing, and relation transparency as the measurement on the authentic leadership behavior. On the other hand, practical approach evolved from life examples and training and development literature. People want to know the how-to steps to become an authentic leader and it has made this type of leadership very popular. Robert Terry's approach and Bill George's approach are both practical approaches to authentic leadership. Robert Terry authentic leadership is a practice-oriented approach which utilizes a formula for leadership with specific steps. It is also action-centered because it focuses on the actions of the leader, leadership team, or organization in a particular situation. Robert Terry developed a will to diagnose and address problems in organizations. The will has 6 components: meaning, mission, power, structure, resources, existence, and fulfillment. Bill George's practical approach, on the other hand, focuses on the characteristics of authentic leaders. It describes the essential qualities of an authentic leadership and how individuals can develop these qualities if they want to become authentic leaders. There are 5 characteristics of authentic leaders, which are: first, understand their purpose; second, strong values; third, trusting relationships; fourth, self-discipline; and fifth, act from the heart. Under theoretical approach, there are 4 components. First, self-awareness, which measures the personal insights of the leader. Second, internalized moral perspective, which measures the internal moral standards and values to guide their behavior. Third, balanced processing, which measures the ability to analyze information objectively and explore other people's opinions before making a decision. And last, relational transparency, which measures the open and honest in presenting one's true self to others. There are 3 factors which belief can influence the behavior of the leaders: positive psychological attributes, moral reasoning, and critical life events.
In theoretical approach that we have selected, there are 4 components or 4 dimensions that become a main structure for this model framework. First is self-awareness. Self-awareness means having a deep understanding on one's emotions, strengths, weaknesses, needs, and drives. It's referring to the personal insights of the leader. Second is self-regulation. Self-regulation refers to leaders' ability to align their values, intentions, and behaviors and demonstrate consistency between what they say and what they do. Self-regulated leaders will use their internal moral standards and values to guide their behavior. Third dimension is on ethical values and action, or balanced processing of information. Balanced processing is the ability and willingness to objectively analyze relevant data and explore the opinions of others before making a decision. An authentic leader tries to be as unbiased as possible in collecting information to adequately examine and interpret various perspectives on an issue and make an objective and balanced decision. The fourth dimension is relationship or relational transparency. Relational transparency refers to the leader's level of disclosure regarding information and the extent to which he or she reveals their personal thoughts and feelings.
How does authentic leadership work? Leadership is not something you are born with, but that authentic leadership requires constant development and growth. George developed an idea of leadership as a journey with 3 distinct phases. Phase 1. In the first part of your journey, you prepare yourself for the leadership. Phase 2. In the second phase, you start leading by taking on new challenges until you reach the peak of leadership. And phase 3. In the final part of the leadership journey, you start seeking opportunities to spread your leadership wisdom to others and give back to the community even though the learning process continues. Authentic leaders can be developed, and most of the people do have the capacity to become authentic leaders. The developmental process is a lifelong learning process. It is believed that leaders are shaped by critical life events that lead to growth and greater authenticity. From self-development perspective, human resource department may be able to continuously provide leadership trainings for their employees who move into leadership position through continuous skills training. Let us move on to the authentic leadership strength. What is best about authentic leadership? One of the benefits of authentic leadership is the enhanced relational engagement it brings about. Since the focus is on objectives and a person's inner behavior and values, the leader is more able to maintain trust among the group. The focus is on empowering the employees and guiding them through the task in an empathic and honest manner. Infancy. That's the biggest disadvantage of this theory. The authentic leadership theory does not have a coherence, with different authors adding their own flavor to what it means to be an authentic leader. In addition to this dilemma, the moral components can cause contradicting objectives within the organization. The leader's value might not always align with what is right for the organization or its shareholders. Therefore, a leader might find him or herself in a situation where they have to either sacrifice their inner value of providing employees bonuses or provide these bonuses in order to grow the company's sales potential.
Next, we will explain on the authentic leadership method that we propose to be used in measure our assessment. In general, there are 4 methods available to measure the level of authentic leadership. They are LAS, Leadership Authentic Skill, ALQ, Authentic Leadership Questionnaire, ALI, Authentic Leadership Inventory, and AL3, Authentic Inventory. Information on each method are as per shown on the screen. In assessing theoretical approach on authentic leadership, we are going to use ALQ method. ALQ was established by Wallumbwa and Associates in year 2007. ALQ was designed to help leaders to get a better estimate of how genuinely they are perceived by others, as well as how leaders see themselves in their leadership role. In ALQ standard structure, there are 16 items and categorized into 4 dimensions as per table shown on the screen. The skill that being used in ALQ is called as ALS or Authentic Leadership Skill.
For the purpose of authentic leadership assessment and using the authentic leadership questionnaires method, we have our own process flow for the measurement activities. From this slide, we can see the step-by-step methodology which can be used before we come out with the findings and recommendations using the online Google Forms questionnaires. Based on the theoretical approach of authentic leadership, there are 4 dimensions of behavior need to be designed to help leaders to get a better estimate of how genuinely they are perceived by others, as well as how leaders see themselves in their leadership role. The dimensions are self-awareness, self-regulation, ethics, value and actions, and relationship. However, for the purpose of this study, we only focus on the first 3 dimensions.
Based on our survey objective, which is to determine the AL level among the manager staff in CTRM, we have determined the top management team level and managerial level as unit of analysis for our measurement. As shown on the screen, we have in total of 97 managerial staff. Our first unit of measurement is on the managerial members' socio-demographic, which we will analyze based on their gender, age, position level, and year of service. Detail of number of respondents on our conducted survey as per shown on the screen. Our second unit of measurement is ALQ standard deviation. The purpose of this measurement is to observe if the respondents have the same or different agreement on the questionnaire. Third unit of measurement is AL scale normative comparison. This is another standard measurement in ALQ where it will benchmarking the results that we obtained from the survey to see where is our AL level compared to other similar industry or group. The fourth unit of measurement is AL strength, where we will measure which item become the strength to CTRM organization. And the last unit of measurement is on AL developmental opportunities or AL weaknesses, which vice versa of unit measurement number 4.
For this assessment, we found that diverging bar chart is a great way to visualize ordinal data. The distinctive element is a common baseline that allows the eye to measure the length of each bar very quickly. These charts are great for comparisons across segments. Based on the responses by the targeted respondents, we found that the overall ALQ was at point 4.3 scoring.
This is the result of measurement on Unit 1, Socio-Demographic. For gender, female scored the higher ALQ level at 4.6 compared to male at 4.2. For age, we can see the members at age 40s to 60s hit the higher ALQ level at 4.3 compared to age 30s to 40s at level 4.2. In terms of position level, GM level stating highest ALQ level at 4.8, and for year of service more than 20 years, also stating highest ALQ level at 4.4. Analysis of these results will be explained in next analyzed chapter. It is very important to know whether the results are spreading or not. We also could determine the agreement among the CTRM managerial members. For this, we use standard deviation to measure the spread of the results. Based on our survey results, the standard deviation for overall ALQ is 0.31, which is very close to 0.0. SD for dimension 1 is 0.38. SD for dimension 2 is 0.44 and SD for dimension 3 is 0.39. Analysis of these results will be explained in next analyzed chapter. Next is another standard measurement in ALQ which called as ALQ skills normative comparison. Here we will measure the ALQ level for CTRM managerial staff by compare it to other similar group of managerial staff from different industries as a benchmarking. For this, we have selected Honda managerial level as our comparison. We have conducted the same survey to them and the comparative results are as shown on the screen. In overall ALQ, both CTRM and Honda manager level scored the same level at 4.3. For self-awareness, CTRM is higher at 4.4 compared to Honda at 4.3. For self-regulation, both CTRM and Honda have the same result at 4.2. And also same for ethical value and action, where both scored 4.4 ALQ level. Analysis of these results will be explained in next analyzed chapter. Next is ALQ unit measurement on ALQ strengths. In ALQ standard, items with ALQ level higher than mean or average level, which will be measured as high ALQ level, where our mean level is 4.3. Based on the survey results, there are 9 items measured as high ALQ level, which above than average ALQ level. From these 9 items, we can observe there are 2 items that scored with highest rating at ALQ 4.7, which on ethical value and action dimension and on self-regulation dimension. Analysis of these results will be explained in next analyzed chapter. Last unit of ALQ measurement is on the weaknesses point, which considered as developmental opportunities. This unit of measurement is determined by the item rating that lower than ALQ average. From our survey results, There are two items considered as weaknesses to CTRM managerial level, where both of the items are from self-regulation dimension with low rating of 3.5 and 3.9 as shown on the screen. Analysis of these results will be explained in next and last chapter.
Based on the measurement on the ALQ, we have analyzed the data collected and we found that CTRM managerial level staff have scored 4.3, which can be analyzed as high score in ALQ level. The level of authenticity leadership in CTRM is considered high. From the socio-demographic analysis, we found that first, female leaders have scored 4.6 compared to male leaders of 4.3 score. Second, the authenticity leaders in CTRM at age between 40 to 60 years old with an average score of 4.4. Third, CTRM managerial at general manager level demonstrated highest ALQ level with average score of 4.8. And last, long service managerial level staff scored the highest ALQ level at 4.4. The overall ALQ standard deviation within CTRM managerial level stood at 0.31, which indicates that almost complete agreement among the respondents. Both group of managerial level from CTRM and Honda have scored an overall ALQ of 4.3. The highest ALQ scored will be read as the strength of authentic leadership behavior. The highest score was 4.7. CTRM leaders embrace their role as a leader includes an ethical responsibility to others. At the same time, they display self-discipline in the workplace. The lowest score in ALQ is a weakness point that need to be improved. The lowest score was 3.5. The research discovered that they are being affected with emotion when it came to decision making.
Next chapter is on reporting. Here, we will explain on our findings throughout the assessment and measurement done to CTRM managerial level based on the results analysis. Our first finding is we found that ALQ developmental for male is much slower compared to women. Secondly, CTRM manual management, who mostly at age 30 to 40 years old, are at lower ALQ level due to they carrying less responsibilities compared to 40s and above. Third finding, this is CTRM managerial staff with lower rank are less exposed to high responsibilities, tasks or work, which slowing down their leadership development. And our fourth finding is staffs with lesser year of service also produce the same results as position level measurement as staffs with shorter period of service have a lower chance to develop their AL due to less gained experience. Our second report is on the weaknesses of the ALQ methodology itself. From our observation, ALQ is qualitative-based approach where level of openness, transparency, and also the accuracy of the result is questionable. Second weaknesses is ALQ is commercialized as this standard has been patented and copyrighted. Third weaknesses is ALQ is not comprehensive and less rigorous or thorough method to produce more accurate result. And the fourth weaknesses is ALQ is not 360-degree assessment, only evaluated either by follower and or equal level, but not from top-bottom self-assessment.
To conclude our study on this exercise, we have came up with the improvements and recommendations which we believe that can be used for future learning process. The improvements which we foresee are: first, to have thorough and accurate measurable questions in order to obtain a more accurate results. As such, we have recommended to have both qualitative and quantitative measurable questions in order to obtain more accurate results. The second improvement was to have a comprehensive assessment. For the improvement, we have recommended to assess using ALQ 360 assessment from different perspectives. participants, team members, managers, supervisors, leaders, and peer colleagues. The third one is to have a strategic direction in building the authentic leadership style, as it takes years to develop. As a recommendation for this improvement, we have recommended for the staff development on the career path with necessary measures to enhance the leadership skills and staff knowledge. The fourth improvement is to assess from 4 dimensions instead of 3 dimensions. Therefore, we recommended to include dimension on relation transparency for a comprehensive methods in the future. The last improvement is to minimize the margin of error from the total population in Honda for normative comparison perspective. We recommended to have an accurate number of population in Honda focusing on managerial level. This can be done by contacting their HR department to get the actual numbers. With that, I open to members of the floor for Q&A session.